Hello guys and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be making my predictions for game week 28 of the 25-26 EFL Championship season. It's a midweek set of games and let's see how I did over the weekend. I got no outcomes and scorelines correct, but I did get 5 outcomes, which is worth 5 points, taking my season total up to 194. And this is how the championship table looks after 27 matches. And without further ado, let's predict tonight's and tomorrow's set of matches. And we're going to start at the Hawthorns for West Brom against Norwich City. And let's see now. Norwich off the back of the 2-1 victory over Wrexham. West Brom off the back of a 3-2 defeat to Middlesbrough. But Borough are on pretty good form at the minute. And so are Norwich, to be fair, but West Brom are the home side. And West Brom have been pretty good at home in recent times. Of course, they've brought in their replacement for Ryan Mason as boss. I think West Brom might just get the win over the line here. Norwich have been impressive and they've been better away from home than they have been at Carrow Road this season, but I think I'm going to back the Baggies for a win. I haven't done it for some time, but let's go for the Baggies. I'm going to back West Brom for a 2-1 win. I think West Brom just have enough to get the 3 points over the line and move away from the drop zone again. So 2-1 to the Baggies. Next up, we've got Charlton Athletic against Derby County. A battle of two sides who are coming off the back of victories. Charlton with a 1-0 victory against Sheffield United last week. 9-man Sheffield United. Derby County off the back of a 1-0 away victory against Preston, which is another very impressive victory. 2 impressive victories last game week. I struggle to separate these two though. It wouldn't surprise me with Charlton being the home side if they got maybe a 1-0 victory. But Derby they've been quite unpredictable of recent times. But I think Derby do have enough to get something from this game. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I don't know who a draw would benefit more. I guess it would benefit Derby a bit more, given the circumstances. But I can see it ending in a point apiece, a 1-1 draw. Next up, we've got Ipswich Town against Bristol City. And Ipswich are flying right now under Kieran McKenna. They've started to really get a grip on things. Bristol City's form has been up and down as of late. I can't see anything other than an Ipswich win here. Ipswich are firing on all cylinders at the minute, and I do think that Bristol City, they are unpredictable, but I do see Ipswich getting the 3 points here. Bristol City off the back of a 0-0 draw against Oxford. I'm going for Ipswich to win and a clean sheet. I'm going Ipswich to win 2-0. I think the Tractor Boys will get another 3 points, closer potentially to promotion. So 2-0 to Ipswich. Next up, we've got Oxford United against QPR. And Oxford both these sides off the back of a 0-0 draw last week. Oxford a 0-0 draw against Bristol City. QPR with a 0-0 draw against Stoke. Stoke keep their clean sheet record going, I think. The thing is, Oxford draws are not enough anymore. They've got to push for wins if they want any chance of survival from the Championship this season. But that being said, QPR have been on fairly decent form at at the minute. I can't see them, well, I can see them dropping points, but I don't see Oxford getting the win here, unfortunately for them. I'm going to sit on the fence with another 1-1 draw. I think another point in the bag is not a bad result for either. Well, it's a pretty bad result for Oxford, but for QPR, they're 11th in the table. I do think a point wouldn't be the end of the world for them. It wouldn't surprise me if it ended goalless either, but a 1-1 draw is my prediction. Next up, we've got Coventry City against Millwall. And Coventry are top of the table, and they are off the back of a 2-1 win against Leicester last week. Millwall off the back of a 2-0 victory against Watford. A bit of a blip on Watford's end. Millwall are flying, they're 4th in the table, but it is at the CBS. If Millwall were the home side, I may well fancy them for a draw or something, but Coventry are the home side, and Frank Lampard may well have got a hold on his players, and he may well be firing them, so, he may well have got them gelling. I think Coventry will get the 3 points over the line here. They need to get back into a rhythm. I think they will. Coventry win it 2-1. I think Frank Lampard's boys will push for the win and narrowly get the 3 points over the line. 2-1 to the Sky Blues. Next up, we've got Preston North End against Hull City. And Preston off the back of the 1-0 defeat to Derby. Hull off the back of an impressive 2-1 victory against Southampton last week. Hull are another side that are really pushing. I think they're up to 5th in the table. They've leapfrogged Preston. That's tricky, because Preston I do like. These are almost polar opposite sides in terms of goals. Preston are very cagey, low scoring, and Hull are like 2nd or 3rd highest scorers in the division. It's tricky because Preston are at home, but I don't like to back against the Tigers at the minute. They're on a good run of form. It wouldn't surprise me if this game went either way. Could go down the middle, but I don't want to back against Hull. I'm going to go back-to-back home defeats for Preston here. I'm going Hull to edge it 2-1. I think the Tigers are on a good run of form right now, and I think a win could put them in the top 4. So, 2-1 to the Tigers. Next up, we've got Swansea City against Blackburn Rovers. In what was a few weeks ago a relegation scrap, now Swansea are 16th. They're more mid-table than they are relegation, although the table is so tight. But Blackburn are on a pretty poor run of form recently, and it seems like they're getting dragged back into this relegation battle after a fairly good run of form. It's even hard to predict if Blackburn will score a goal or not at the minute. Swansea are the home side, and at the Swansea.com stadium they look to be quite a threat at the minute. And I can't see Blackburn getting anything here. I'm sorry, Blackburn fans, but I'm going to Swansea. I'm going Swansea to win 2-0. I think clean sheet would help Swansea's confidence, and heck, even push them maybe up to the top half. But I am going for the Swans 2-0. Next up, we've got Sheffield Wednesday against Birmingham City. And Sheffield Wednesday just can't catch a break. They're still on -7 points. They're last in the table. Birmingham are an interesting one, because we say how poor they are away from home, but they are off the back of 2 results back-to-back away. The 3-2 win against Cambridge United in the Cup, and then a 1-1 draw last week. They are away again, but they're against the Sheffield Wednesday side who, with all due respect, they are, well, really struggling this season. They're rock bottom. I don't see them winning this. I think Birmingham may well look at this result and think, well, a goal might be enough. That's why I'm going to back Birmingham for a 1-0 win. I think it's going to be close, but I think Birmingham will win. Next up, we've got Wrexham against Leicester City. And Wrexham, off the back of a 2-1 defeat to Norwich, Leicester off the back of a 2-1 defeat to Coventry. It is back-to-back home games for Wrexham, and I do maintain that Wrexham can make the playoffs. I think they're strong enough, and I think they could go on another run. I do think that defeat to Norwich was a little blip on Wrexham's part. Leicester, they're struggling to get results over the line. They're getting goals, and I think I will give them a goal here. But Wrexham look just too strong right now. I think Wrexham will go back to winning ways. I'm going 2-1 to the Welsh side. I think Leicester will find a goal from somewhere, but Wrexham ultimately get the 3 points over the line. So 2-1 to Wrexham. And then we move on to tomorrow's 3 matches, starting with Southampton against Sheffield United. A battle of 2 sides who lost last week, 2 parachute payment sides, but Southampton off the back of a 2-1 defeat to Hull. Things are looking really bad for us. Sheffield United 1-0 loss to Charlton Athletic, albeit down to 9 men as well. 2 of their men were sent off, and Charlton narrowly managed to find the win. It's tricky because I don't know, like with those 2 players missing from Sheffield United's squad, whether that will hamper them or not. But Southampton, we can't find a result right now if our lives depended on it. I've got to go Sheffield United. I think Chris Wilder's side is, well, despite that loss, they are on very good form. I think they might go back to winning ways at St Mary's here. The Blades win it 2-1. I think Sheffield United will get the 3 points and move above Southampton in the table. So 2-1 to the Blades. Next up, we've got Watford against Portsmouth. Watford with the 2-0 defeat to Millwall last week, and Portsmouth with the win against Sheffield Wednesday. So they're not the only side to lose both home and away to Sheffield Wednesday, but they are still the only side to lose to them this season. But they are off the back of a win, and their form's not bad, but Watford are the home side. It wouldn't surprise me if at home Watford got the win here, but I think Watford can get something at home. But Portsmouth's form isn't the worst either. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw in this one. I think a point wouldn't really be a bad result for either, but it wouldn't be great either. But a point apiece is where I'm going with this one, a 1-1 draw. And then the final game is Stoke City against Middlesbrough in a big battle. Mark Robins' side off the back of a 0-0 defeat, a 0-0 draw to QPR. Borough off the back of a 3-2 victory over West Brom on the road last week. This one's tricky because Stoke are the home side, and I do like Stoke at home. But Borough are flying right now. They are getting results over the line, left, right and centre. Well, I say that, they were actually in pretty bad form up till, the last couple of game weeks, where they've got wins over the line. But I think with the tight battle between Coventry, Ipswich and Middlesbrough for the top 2 spaces, I think Middlesbrough will somehow find enough to get the 3 points over the line. They love to score goals. But Stoke are defensive. They're solid defensively. I do think Borough will just get over the line, but it's going to be close. I'm going Borough to win 2-1. I think Borough just narrowly managed to snatch the 3 points, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was a draw either. but 2-1 to Borough is where I'm going on the final one. And there you have it, guys, all 12 midweek matches done and dusted. I think we'll be back later in the week for the weekend's matches. Some interesting ones in there as well, so make sure to leave me your predictions in the comments down below, and I'll see you all later. See you later.